We have with us very pretty Pallavi Sharda here in Gondal near Rajkot. She is shooting for a film of hers with Ayushmann Khurrana. Huge pleasure to have you in Bollywood Hungama.
Thank you so much, Faridoon. Great to be here again.
Never thought that we'll be meeting at 11 o'clock in the night, and it's such a wonderful set out here. Yeah. Enjoying yourself?
Absolutely. I think tonight's our last day actually, last night, and I'm feeling very sad to leave this place because we've been here for 4 weeks and this has become home. This set is our home. We don't want to leave at the end of backup. We just stay here.
Right. Period setting for your for a film of yours.
Yes.
Almost I think 100 years.
125
years ago. How was that experience for you?
It's incredible, you know, transporting yourself to another time and having to imagine what Bombay was like back then, and you know the place that we live in now, which is so different. It's just been a transformation in terms of how I perceive the city as well, because I think Bombay plays a huge character in our film. So that was fun, and you know, it's a historical film as well. And you know, my director Vibhu, his vision, you know, his aesthetic vision is so magnificent. So to be in a frame of his is such a pleasure.
No, absolutely. Like he's a writer of Guzarish and Savaria, and so I'm sure that he's having that backdrop of Sanjay Bansali. So Sanjay Bansali always has a wonderful aesthetic sense himself. You're playing a character called Sitara Devi. I believe.
Well, she's Sitara, and then Sitara Devi is something that some people call her affectionately.
Right. And it's a real life, somewhat.
They're all based. All the characters are based on real life.
Talpade.
Shivkar Talpade, the protagonist of the film, is based on a real life scientist from that era. My character is probably the one character with which we've taken the most liberty. Because.
But was it there as such in reality?
I'm sure there were many sitaras at that time. And,
must be.
Yeah.
No, but what the synopsis that has been given to us, it says that Sitara was responsible for, in a way, his fall from grace, and then eventually achieving what he finally did.
Well, I think in real life, I don't know what Shivkar Talpade's wife was to him necessarily, but you know, it's always written that she was a huge support. So we're not necessarily saying that Sitara is a complete replica of who his actual wife was, but she's that figure in his life, the person that supports him to the end and keeps him going. Right.
What are you exactly shooting today? Because I've been just observing, and I think it has a coquettish moment to it somehow, that you're trying to make Ayushmann jealous somehow.
I think more than make him jealous, I think I'm scared to show my love for him at this point in the film. She's admitted to herself finally that she's in love with this crazy man who keeps following her around, and she's with her patrons that she spends time with because she is a patron. They are patrons of the arts, the British officers.
She's a dancer.
She's a dancer. She's a tamasha dancer. So she doesn't want the two worlds to mix. And I think Shivkar is coming into her space, which she's a little wary about. So it's an interesting point for her.
The entire dresses, because we're seeing you in this I think beautiful gown right now. What's the idea, and who has designed for you?
Sahil Coach has done an amazing job with all of our costumes. They're very raw, very rustic. The fabrics are very earthy, and the colors are very deep. Vibhu his color palette is very important in the film. If you see, there'll be a lot of green, a lot of maroon, a lot of deep blue. And this is an anomaly for my character. Sitara's never in Western attire. This is the only time she's done. I think just to show what was happening in the era. You know, we wanted to take that liberty and say, you know, maybe she would, maybe a woman with her power, you know, and her stature with the British officers at the time, she would play a character for them as a tamasha dancer. But otherwise, I'm completely wearing Indian clothes. I wear a Nawari sari almost every day of my life now, which has been fun. So given that I live in Bombay and I've never worn a Nawari, it's been nice to get into that Maharashtrian kind of sense. Right.
I'm sure that you are you're a major dancer actually. You love dancing somehow, and we always
talk about it.
So how much of that do we see that?
I have one song in the film which I've shot entirely as a tamasha dancer. I think thematically she as the tamasha dancer is there throughout. You'll see me on stage. In fact, one whole schedule was dedicated to the Capitol Theatre, which you're seeing the exterior of here, with my lovely fake photograph poster painting thing that they've made of me. And you know, I think the Capitol Theatre interior scenes it's Sitara's space. So it's when she's doing her tamasha acting, it's when she's dancing, it's when she's in her green room. So it's not that she's a dancer and we just see her dancing. That's a part of her broader life. But yeah, there is one song which involves Shivkar and her meeting and their love story.
I was just standing over there and we were seeing that that entire chemistry between you and Ayushmann. Just one moment when he's looking at her and he's just
really?
The entire thing.
That's a good sign.
No, I'm sure that it is. So something about the chemistry that you share with Ayushmann in the movie.
You know, I think Ayushmann is such a great human being, and I know that all actors say that about their co-actors, but we do get along as people and as actors, and we have very similar backgrounds, in fact, as people. You know, we're both from outside the industry. We've come here. We've kind of made it on our own. So there's I think a sense of camaraderie there, and Vibhu did a very good job of making us workshop together before the film started, and all of those things that happened to make. We're very heavily involved in this film. Like we will sit here till for all hours of the night.
That
shooting.
We've been seeing that.
Yeah, shooting no matter, and we're just there for each other. Everyone's there for each other in this film. Like we have a great relationship with our director as well. But I'm glad to think it's just that you said that you got a good vibe from our chemistry, because I think that's a big part of the film. It's a love story.
No, absolutely. The synopsis says that fall from grace and then eventually he rises because of her. What exactly is that all about?
I don't know if he rises because of her. I think that when he has to rise again, Sitara is always a reason for him to move forward, I think, in the film. Whether it's a fall from grace, it's a little bit extravagant, I think. He's just sort of someone at the start he hasn't found his way yet. So Sitara becomes something for him to look forward to. And then he, has another calamity in his life. And Sitara comes back in and supports him there. So it's just a very, very simple story of companionship, and how this woman is always there for this man despite the odds, despite the fact that an arch girl shouldn't be in a serious relationship of this sort. And that's one of her biggest struggles, ki naachne waliyan are people who don't have love written for them. They have these fickle relationships. So she says, keep going away, please.
But they make for good stories somehow, like Bita Umrao Jan, or there's a lot of Pakiza, and they always.
There's a certain romance, I think, to the notion of an arch girl.
Exactly, there's sadness and that entire thing.
The melancholy.
How pivotal is your character in the film, considering that it's about Shivkar Talpade and his entire whatever achievement that he had in terms of making the first aircraft in the world?
I mean, I think that the film is very much about Shivkar Talpade. He is the protagonist. He's there in every single scene. He carries the film forward, and as an actor, Ayushmann's doing it brilliantly. But I think without Sitara, as I said, the motivations don't come in his life to do things, and you'll see that throughout when you watch the film finally. So I think that the plane doesn't get made without Sitara. So if she's not there, then Shivkar is not Shivkar.
Okay.
Yeah.
The entire hype that was around Besharam, and somehow it didn't really work.
I knew you would ask me that.
No, I think it's a valid one actually.
Yeah, of course.
So not maybe a great start in terms of first big film as a lead.
I think the notion of the first big film was something which was created by those around me. As you know, I've always been working, and I always kind of said that this is just another step in my kind of ladder that I'm trying to climb, or whatever the journey that I'm going on. And it happened to be with a very big star, with a very big director who's quite a star. And
but you were the main lead as well.
Of course, of course, and I was the main lead. Yeah, I guess I was a differentiator. I was the main lead, and I think a lot of elements didn't appeal to people. So you can get demotivated by that, but literally on the day that I realized that it wasn't going to work, I just smiled about it because
that's a positive way of looking at it.
I was looking forward to this film. I knew I was still working, and you have to not let it demotivate you, because there are a lot of people who will try and pull you down, and I've seen that very closely. So it's just about maintaining your conviction in your spirits and not losing self-faith. So that's hard. It's easier said than done, but I've somehow managed to pull through.
Right. I'll be honest about it. One thing actually, the last time when we met in our office, you're looking prettier than last time around somehow.
Really?
So maybe I think things are working on a positive plane for you as well. What are the other offers that you've got?
Me, I keep getting offers, but to be honest, I've been so involved in this film, and Vibhu, someone that I've known, he actually wrote a play called the Taj Express that I was doing, was actually initially written by Vibhu. And so I've kind of committed to this film, my heart and soul until the release. Because it's something that, and if you think I'm looking prettier, I don't know, maybe it's because I'm just happier. And
I'm being honest about it. You see this video and you see the earlier video.
Okay.
You can just deduce it for yourself as well. Any last words about this particular film that any experience while filming for it that stayed in your mind? Or that you
I mean, I think
share with us?
overall I've just had the time of my life. Like, I really don't want to leave Gondal, and I never thought I would say this. I don't want to leave Gujarat. I'm going to have withdrawal symptoms when I go home. In fact, my dad is flying from Australia in 2 days. I said, please come, somebody, and be with me because I don't want to be alone. The team is very close. The crew is amazing. Vibhu and Savi, our director and DOP, are people that we love working with. So I'm just so grateful that, and in fact, I was signed for this film a year ago, which was...
We discussed that.
Yeah, so I've been looking forward to it. It's something that I've been waiting to do, and it's exactly the kind of cinema and the kind of role that I'm really passionate about. So, fingers crossed.
Fantastic. We're looking forward to the movie, and we really hope that it does exceedingly well, and looking forward to hearing more announcements from you very soon.
Thank you, Faridoon.
All the best.
Thanks.
That's all from Bollywood Hungama. Keep on watching. Hi, this is Faridoon Shahryar. For the most interesting celebrity interviews, do subscribe to Bollywood Hungama. Keep on watching.